A turbulent past couple of years, but it seems that India is ready to boom again. We're here to find out how and why. My name is Shayan Shakil. This is Jeremy Lawrence. Welcome to Inside AB. So, Jeremy, you spoke to a rather senior equity analyst who focuses on India. What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, this guy, Sukumar Rajah, Senior Managing Director of Portfolio Management at Templeton Emerging Markets Equity. And it's quite a mouthful.
Right.
He says the equities market in India provides a lot of opportunities, even though it's been through a bit of a wobble. I mean, the economy's been growing, but in the light of the recent global sell-off and a few things that have been happening, which we'll come to in a minute, investors have been a little bit cautious and a bit more hesitant than perhaps they should be in his mind. I mean, the top line figure on this is a projected growth figure of 7.3% between 2018 and 2022. So the India economy, the fundamentals are really there.
Mm-hmm. Right, but there was a wobble, as you mentioned. So why did that result? Why did it underperform the past couple of years?
Okay, well, like I say, it never went into recession, but growth slowed. Prime Minister Modi, he's done a few tough measures which he saw as being in the long-term interest of the country. First of all, you had the demonetisation program of 2016, which was really big, of course, when they withdrew all that cash from the economy.
Right.
Because they want people going through the books. The goods and services tax was introduced last summer. You had February's global equity sell-off, of course, and you had in February as well, last month, the Punjab National Bank 1.8 billion scandal.
Right.
So you've had a few sort of things that have been happening. Just to go back to that GST tax, again, what that did for businesses, it's a cash economy largely, and that really sort of put the brakes on a lot of the small business supply to the medium and larger businesses. So it really did sort of slow things down for a while, but we've recovered from that now.
Right. So a cash-rich economy, but there's an unstoppable force that propels this country's momentum into the future. What is it?
Yeah, everyone knows that it's the demographic good news there. Now, we've been talking about India's demographic boom for years. It's set to grow from 1.35 billion to 1.64 billion by 2030 and will become the world's biggest country.
Oh, wow.
But what's happening now, finally, is that middle class is growing. The number of wealthy Indians with assets over $50 million is likely to grow by nearly 71% by 2022.
Oh.
And this means a couple of things. It means that domestic demand now accounts for a large proportion of the economy, so immediately that's massive. And what it means as well with this growing middle class is that you've got these aspirational purchases finally happening in much larger numbers. So cars, jewelry, watches, clothes from luxury brands, etc. And then that feeds further down the chain, these aspirations to AC units and electronic items amongst the sort of lower middle class.
Right.
So you're really starting to see these things starting to snowball now.
Right. So they're spending money buying things, but they must be parking it somewhere too.
Yeah, of course. So traditionally, India's been about the public sector of the banking, but now the private banking sector is really starting to motor on. State-owned banks have been preoccupied with asset quality. They've been weighed down by debt. Again, we had this Punjab National Bank scandal.
Right.
But you've got a growing demand for credit investment services from this new middle class. So it's led to this massive growth in private retail banking. And also private retail banking, they look set to profit more from advancing technology. They're more nimble. They'll be the ones that benefit from this.
All right. So we've heard about consumer goods. We've heard about private banking. There must be something in the property and the real estate sector. I mean, we've heard of Indians investing a lot in the UAE market. How are they spending that money domestically?
Yeah, well, Sukumar Rajah pointed to this big growth. I mean, obviously, we all know that Mumbai at the top end has been booming for a few years now.
Right.
But that's coming through as the middle class sort of boosts the demand for better quality housing, which is good for the building industry and real estate management companies. And these companies tend to be positioned in the mid to large cap in the Indian equity market. He also pointed to, interestingly, I don't know if this is going to happen, but in the 2018-2019 budget, there was a plan for an affordable housing fund to create housing for all citizens by 2022.
Right,
Now,
ambitious.
Yeah, it's ambitious. Who knows what will happen, but it would obviously kickstart jobs. But we are seeing this fleshed out now in more substantial terms in the property market.
Right. So the conclusion would be that there's a lot more growth to come. Is it right at the beginning of its growth curve?
Yeah, well, it's 7.7% projected growth in 2018-2019 according to the IMF. That's not insubstantial at all. 89 million middle-class households by 2025. So Sukumar Rajah just points to this, favourable macroeconomics, obviously these really favourable demographics. And so, this last couple of years, these wobbles we've had, these probably necessary measures that have been taken, they're starting to bear fruit, and we're really going to see the equity market as a result really perform strongly in the coming months and years.
Okay, so an unfolding story, but it seems India's back on track.
Seems to be.
All right, well, thanks for your insights, Jeremy Lawrence. You've been watching Inside AB. Subscribe and comment below, and tune in tomorrow for the next edition. Thanks for watching.